And honestly, with the rain, I said this couldn't play out any worse for them because, you know, when you spot somebody 2 scores, you're probably going to have to throw the ball a little bit. And the game plan to me was to keep the ball out of the quarterback's hands on both sides of the field. It's like there's no need. You got some great positive momentum with Jalen Hurts. There's no need to go out and have a game where there's a couple turnovers because of wet ball. Now, you did finally get a bad break for him. He threw a pick early. Pick 6, I was walking to the bathroom. I was in the main concourse.
Drill to start the game.
And I could hear the fucking, you know, when you're walking to the bathroom.
It's going out.
People are fucking pissed. Just beating up the urinals. Like, people are upset.
And that's what I said. I mean, my first note when watching that was like, strange things happen in spooky games with weather, particularly at home. It's like, you've had that feeling where the game starts in an ominous fashion, like a tip drill,
and it gets
pick
quiet.
6, and it's like, fuck, the energy that we just stored up for 5-6 days is now sucked out of the stadium. You have to manufacture it.
Yeah.
And I wrote the turning point as Jacksonville up 14-7. Miles Sanders scores on the right side on an inside zone behind Lane Johnson, which is a real vanilla block for offensive linemen, a play side drive. It's one you're not expected to dominate, but I made a note, all caps, Lane Johnson dominated his block, play side drive. That was the emphatic tide coming back in and turning for the Eagles I had. And obviously a lot of the wet weather stuff was.
I got to know.
I don't want my right tackle half-assing a play side drive.
A lot of guys do, because for those at home that don't understand, running backs like to press the ball front
right
side.
tackle.
Running backs like to press the ball to the front side to influence the linebackers and get defensive linemen to play into their gaps, and then they go backside. That's where it opens up, right behind the center, right guard, left guard. That little area is where it's going to open up. Good running backs understand that, but good teams with great right tackles can just say, keep it front side, run it behind Lane.
I'll give you another turning point. So you get the pick 6, you get an 80-yard drive, and then you go 4th and 3. I think you get stopped. I could be wrong here, but I think Fletch had the forced fumble that set up their first scoring drive. I mean, they got a chance down 14-0 at home to really hear the boo birds. I heard some boos early in that game. I mean, it's a 3-0 team.
I think Lawrence just fumbled it like by himself, like running.
Does he have small hands? I'm asking that a lot about guys.
A lot of hair product in his hand, maybe from the
I don't
night
think
before.
he has small hair. Yeah, well, no, Kyle. There was you mix that with rain. It's like
Yeah, he had Hurricane Ian in and around his hands.
Might as well be KY.
just all day, dude. No, but I mean that was the whole thing with Trevor Lawrence was, and the Jags. They had been really good in the turnover department, and they were -3 yesterday. So it was all about turnovers, man. I mean, like Hasson Reddick, we were talking about this, forced 2 of them, picked up 2 of them. That was a big game for him.
Strip sack in the 4th quarter, takeaway for the defense, another one. When they needed a touchdown to put the game out of reach with 9 minutes left, they brought a puller. They ran basic stuff offensively. I love the faith they have in their offensive line, particularly in big spots. They don't have to put the pressure on Jalen. He doesn't have to be perfect and make a perfect throw to Goddard down there in the goal line, and he didn't. But they have the offensive line to make up for that, especially in those tight areas of the field.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, they got punched in the mouth, man. That was the bottom line. Is like you were waiting for Philly to have to respond to some adversity. Jacksonville's a good team. You knew it. It was a big atmosphere with Doug coming back. They ran the rock for over 200. And here's a big one. We just talked about Hasson Reddick, but Bradberry with a huge pick late. Oof. And Reddick stepping up with that closer with 12 minutes to go. I mean, like, the new guys stepping up, guys that have been there stepping up. They are a good football team. I don't know, like, at this point, now I know I had the Niners in the Super Bowl, but it's hard to really – it's hard to say – that anybody's better in the NFC right now. And I'm not trying to be a homer. I wanted to wait for them to get punched in the mouth to say that. Again, look at the rest of their schedule. They're going to be favored in most of their games, if not all. So the birds are good. And Kelce got Doug's jacket at the end of the game, which was heartwarming shit. My heart was full.
That was cool.
My heart was really full there. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.